Hello my friends and welcome back to Anna Goldman Business Channel. Here we discuss professional development, personal finance and changing your life for the best in general. As far as you know, I spent more than 3 years in Norway getting to know this phenomenon of life and work balance. If you're watching me from the UK or especially from America, guys, to let you know, this life and work balance does exist. And Norway is one of the best countries to finally try it, fall in love with it and never ever come back to the formula "I'm building my career 24/7 doing things I absolutely hate doing." You know what I mean. Welcome to Norway. As usual, I'm trying to cover as much information as I possibly can in my videos on this channel, but if you feel as your situation is totally different or your specific case requires particular attention, whatever it is, you want to relocate to Norway or you want to move your business in Norway and you're looking for the local business partners you can trust, go ahead and write me an email and let's schedule a private consultation. I will be so happy to help you and share my personal experience with you. But today I want to discuss with you guys something really cool I found yesterday. I got curious about the most popular questions about Norway people from all over the world tend to have. So I actioned right away. I opened up Google and just typed Norway. And here we are with the most popular questions about Norway coming from all over the world, according to Google. And today I want to give you all the answers, all in one place in this video. Let's dive in. Number one and the most popular question about Norway. Do they speak English here in Norway? Yes, like almost everyone. I've heard this saying that up north even the reindeers understand English. Do you want some stats? Here we are. When you're trying to identify how good the country is at speaking language, the best place to start is the annual EF, English Proficiency English Index. At the time of filming this video, the edition 2022, if we look at the overall table of the countries, Norway has the 4th highest English proficiency in the world. But we should note that Iceland was not included in this report. How bizarre and so unfair. I'm sorry, Iceland. But if you're following my travel channel, you already know that the majority of people in Iceland also speak a very good English, due to an extreme popularity of tourism and hospitality industry in Iceland. Austria is the 3rd, which was considered as the best English-speaking country in the world. The Netherlands is 1st and Singapore is the 2nd. But Norway is the 4th. The 4th! Can you imagine it? The 4th best English-speaking country in the world? Why? I feel so proud now. And it's out of 111 other countries. This is impressive. Out of 111 countries in total. How impressive this is. From my own experience, while I was living and working in Norway for more than 3 years, I never ever managed to meet anyone who would not speak or at least understand some basic English. Never met anyone. More than that, I filmed a specific video about people speaking English in Oslo, so I was basically moving around the city and asking people in English to help me to find my way. And you will be surprised, I did not meet anyone in the capital of Norway who would not speak English, no matter which gender they were and no matter what age. Question number 2, and why Norway is not a part of European Union? Not again. Why people keep asking this question all the time? No, Norway is not a part of European Union. It's never been, and this is exactly why. The relationship between Norway and European Union is quite a complicated one. Part of it is because European Union is a very complicated beast itself, and the other part of it is because of Norwegian relationship with their land and its resources. Let's have a quick look at the troubled beginning between Norway and Europe. Norway applied for a membership in European Economic Community back in 1962. The main goal of European Economic Community was to bring about economic integration between all of their member states. And later, it evolved into something we all know today as the European Union. Norway's 1962 application ended up not leading them anywhere. Not because of Norway itself, it happened because of France, who rejected a very similar application from the United Kingdom. In a sort of domino effect, negotiations with the countries who had a very strong economic ties with the UK, like Ireland, Norway and Denmark, were all suspended. The next attempt of Norway to become a part of European Union would come in 1972 and be associated with a referendum. Let's have a look at that 1972 referendum in Norway. Norway, Denmark, the UK and Ireland's second attempt to become a part of European Union would come in 1972. All of them, apart from the UK, decided to submit their plan for this referendum. In Norway, the main argument for joining was that it would secure peace between old enemies, increase cooperation and ensure economic growth. Arguments against joining were that it would undermine Norwegian sovereignty, create a new power bloc that could weaken NATO, a very important consideration at the height of the Cold War, and most importantly, endanger the fishing and agriculture sectors. The no camp ended up winning with 53.3% of votes, and Norwegian Prime Minister of that time, Trygve Bratteli, from the Labour Party, resigned. The next attempt would come 2 decades later. Let's have a super quick look at 1994 European Union referendum in Norway. The second referendum was held in November 28th. In 1994. By that time, the European Union had been created and already had 12 member countries. Now it has 27 member countries in total. Gro Harlem Brundtland's Labour government, which backed Norway's membership, decided to strategically hold the referendums right after Finland in October that year and Sweden in early November the same year, in hopes that the yes victory in those countries would impress undecided Norwegians and they also would say yes to joining European Union. And the plan didn't work.
Plan's working!
Despite both Sweden and Finland voted for joining, the Norwegians voted for no, in a proportion of 52.2% of its population. A huge difference between two referendums was that by the time of 1994, when the vote took place, Norway had already joined a European Economic Area. This meant that the access to a common European market was no longer on a yes side list of arguments. And since that, European market was already accessible for Norwegians, regardless of the referendum's result. So how exactly Norway and Europe work together today? Norway is a part of Schengen area. That means that all the visas valid for Schengen area are also valid for Norway. Norway is also a part of EEA and EFTA, which gives it access to the single market. And this is absolutely crucial for Norway, as so far European Union is the most important trading partner for Norway. And also Norway is the 5th biggest trading partner for European Union. Question number 3 found in Google: and is Norway a good country to live? Norway is a very safe country to live in general, but once you become a resident here, it feels like you're really taken care of. Healthcare and education is free, and even unskilled work pays well. As long as you're willing to put some effort and learn the local language Norwegian, your life in Norway will be amazing. Certainly, one of the biggest advantages of living in Norway that English as a language is well spoken here is the second language. You can travel all around the country and be absolutely fine with speaking English only. This is extremely important when you just move here and still have a limited knowledge of the local language Norwegian, as being able to communicate those early days of your arrival is extremely important. Norwegians learn English very early at school, so that's why most Norwegians are fluent. I also think that the exposure of British and American television and also social media really helped local population learn the language English super fast and in very professional level. University education in Norway is also free, and this also includes international students, although non-European students should always check financial requirements for their specific cases before they apply for Norwegian university. But all Norwegian universities are to very high standards and they're open for any type of background. As a result of a very strong economy, there is generally a high standard of living in Norway. This means high wages and also clean and well-kept country. But it also means a high cost of living, as I already mentioned in my previous videos on this channel. Norway also prides itself on being an open and inclusive place to live. A diverse country which welcomes people from all over the world. Many of the major cities here have a truly international flavor. It's also LGBTQ friendly, and it's not uncommon to see same-sex couple holding hands as they take a stroll down Karlsjohangata in Oslo. However, a high cost of living would be one of the major disadvantages of living in Norway, and especially for new arrivals. The price of groceries here is much higher than virtually in any other country. Eating out in the restaurant, it's not something you would do here more often than once a week, or at least this is the rule I have for myself. Of course, it can be really difficult when you just first move to Norway, especially if you don't have a job here or not enough savings to support you at the beginning. But at the same time, you live within the budget you have, which in turn allows you to decide sensibly what to spend on and when. When you already have your job in Norway, you will not notice the high cost of living this much. However, house prices and rent prices, at least in Oslo, will always appear on the extreme side. Conclusion here, or my answer to this question I found in Google. It's only for you to decide if Norway is a good country or not to live. Every single case is different. Number 4, the most popular question I found in Google, and I was absolutely shocked. Attention! Is French spoken in Norway? What? I bet it was France who googled that question so many times to make it the 4th popular all around the world in Google search. I'm so sorry, France. Je suis désolé. Mais non, we don't speak French in Norway. Why? What is the point? First of all, there is a very beautiful local language here. You'll be surprised, it's not French. It is Norwegian, in 2 variations of it. Nynorsk and bokmål. And it is Norwegian, the official language of the country. Surprise! Second, and as we already discussed during this video, Norway is the 4th country in the world with the local population speaking English. And France is 34th, by the way. Third, and the Norwegian people don't like speaking in general, even in their own language, especially with strangers, and especially on the bus, and talk especially in French. I'm sorry to disappoint you guys, but no, French is not really spoken in Norway. Question number 5, and quite predictable. Is it always cold in Norway? Yes, like -20 all year round, which is so good for those polar bears who are walking down the streets of Oslo, the capital of Norway, all the time, while you are enjoying those northern lights. Yes, in Oslo. Yes, also, all year round. Fine, guys, please, that was a total joke. First, there are no polar bears walking down the streets in the cities of Norway. Well, it might rarely happen somewhere in Svalbard, where there are more polar bears living than people, but you will never see the polar bears in Oslo, thank God. Same as the Northern Lights. To see the Northern Lights in Norway, you need to go all the way up north, somewhere in Tromsø or similar areas. Still, you will not be able to see them all year round. You might get lucky though and see them starting from September to April, but you also need to be blessed with the weather conditions. And same with the cold, it's not always cold in Norway, even more considering how long the country is. Check this out, that's the map. The temperatures up north and down south might vary insanely. If up north it might get cold to up to -30 degrees winter time, like in January or February. Here in Oslo, the same as in the south of Norway, it rarely gets below -10 degrees Celsius even winter time. 2 weeks ago I experienced +9 degrees Celsius outside daytime in Oslo in February. So no guys, it's not always cold in Norway. As I said, the climate in Norway varies depending on the region and also the time of the year. For the summer months, particularly July and August, the temperature can reach up to 30 degrees Celsius, which is about 86 degrees Fahrenheit in some parts of Norway. However, during the winter months, and especially in the northern part of the country, it can get very cold, with the temperatures below freezing. But there is also lots of snow here, which I personally love so much. Any more questions about Norway you have? You know exactly what to do, just drop them in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching this one too. I hope you enjoyed it. By the way, what do you think? What can be changed or improved about this video? Same thing, please let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching again, and I hope I will see you in my next videos. Bye for now, guys. Bye.